Imagine you are on a steep, punishing hike. The legs are burning, those lungs are gasping, and you're not really sure how much farther you can really go. But in that moment, you zoom in, not on the mountain itself, but on something small like the eyelashes, the corner of a backpack, a pebble in your shoe. That shift from overwhelm and overwhelming pain, a pinpoint focus is the difference between breaking down and breaking through. Now we can zoom out. You have a week off. Maybe it's from lifting, maybe it's from competition, maybe it's just from practicing in that normal grind like Iowa does this upcoming week. All the rest. The rest is actually hard. It's disorienting. You lose the rhythm that we think we have. You're questioning things. And then you come back. And that next step back is everything. Coming back from a hardship or breaking ourselves back from the break is not just about injury and struggle, but the hardest thing for a high achiever is that actual break for a high performer, right? If you're wired to grind, to lead, to compete, a quick pause can feel like punishment, but this is where the elite performers can separate and do separate themselves. It's not just in how they rest, but it's in how they return and how they prep during the rest to return. Because even if it is a break, the ultimate performer, the ultimate achiever breaks hard. Well, they put on the brakes and it is hard for them. So even if it's called a break, it does not always feel like one when you are wired to achieve. And this episode is all about coming back from a hardship, from a break, mentally sharper, more focused, and ready to reintroduce your value to the team, your coaches, and yourself. Hey y'all, welcome to the Mental Performance Playbook, where we are breaking down elite mental strategies and delivering them in actionable exercises that we can apply immediately. My name is Gabe, Rummel, mental for performance coach, founder of The Athlete's Health, and creator of our Fronoic Gym, where we are training your mind just like we train your body. Now, each week we focus on a mental performance theme that helps the athletes, the coaches, the parents with these practical tools or exercises or skills to build that stronger focus, resilience, confidence in what they are doing. Now, this week's theme is breaking to build part 2, or as that says, break back stronger. So without further ado, let's dive deep into breaking to build, breaking back stronger. I'm liking our quicker episodes here, and so are you guys. The views are going up some, so we're going to keep these a little quicker for you to implement and use, so we can all keep it going, keep leveling up, keep putting forth that performance for our week. So these are 4 mental performance accelerators post hardship edition. Number 1 I have for us is zooming in to push through. Because in those hardest moments, what do you focus on? And think about this. In those hardest moments, what are you focusing on? We might think about how hard it is, the pain, every step along the way, right? Those moments of stress and fatigue, they're hard and they eat at us. They're grueling. We want to stop. So let's look at ways that we can actually keep going through this. All these I have implemented myself just recently in a really hard hiking trip, but I've also implemented it in any marathons, any triathlons I've done, any hard workouts I've done, and I have gotten them from top performers and top sports psychologists and top performance psychologists, anything you name it. That is where any of these come from, with a TH spin on it, but it's where we got. So this exercise for zooming in to push through is actually a tiny target focus, because you're going to find this. So the next time you have a really, really hard thing, that moment of stress or fatigue, sometimes we just keep thinking about wanting to stop or being done or whatever else the case is. But if we want to get through this and break through, we need to pick one micro sensation, one micro part to lock onto. So it could be an eyelash, it could be your breath, it could be the swing of your arm. Okay, but that is the anchor of the focus. and the override and the overwhelm. So now the override of the overwhelm is not happening because we're solely focusing on the eyelash or that arm swinging. So whatever the pain that we're in, now that is not coming to our top of mind attention. Toma. It's the actual arm swinging or the focusing on the eyelash. So for instance, where I get this from is from some elite performers I've talked to and ones that I've read of, these elite endurance athletes, they have to pick on just one small physical detail to concentrate, especially when that pain is peaking. Because, I mean, these people are pushing themselves beyond the body's limit, literally. But it rewires the way of thinking and extends that output, extends the energy where they can put on. So, for instance, you did the hike, and now that can be a mental fallback under pressure. And on that hike, the mental fallback was coming back to my eyelash or coming back to the step or the arm swinging, right? And now I can think back and fall back to that hike, and that's my new fire. But during that time, and when I needed it the most, that is what we were focusing on. Just the smallest thing, zooming in to push through and break the boundaries or breaking back in our performance. Number two is pitching yourself back into the fire. Now, you have a break or the new season and we're returning, but what if it's not just a physical return, but a chance to have a re-message and re-message your value? This is huge. We do have to back it up with our physical performance, but this exercise name, we're calling it the Performance Pitch Builder. And what we can do is maybe we know what we've been putting in the off season and we've been putting in the work and putting in the work. And we're still going to have to show the work in the actual season that's coming up. But if we want to add a little something to it, if we want to show our professionalism to the coach, to the team, to anyone else, to the parent, to, you name it, write and rehearse a quick 30-second pitch answering the why should I trust you with more responsibility this week or this season, right? The work ethic, the growth during the break, what you're bringing mentally, all the areas that we have leveled up. Put this in a quick 30-second pitch, hyping yourself up, but hyping it up to a point that you know that you can perform at, right? This is not about the ego. It's about the clarity, the communication, and confidence that you are bringing to the team, right? Your personal brand rep, build it like that. Build this 30-second pitch, this performance pitch builder as your personal brand for the team, for the coach. Now, you still have to back it up. You still go out there and show them what's up, but they might be looking for it a little bit now. Maybe it's more in front of what they're thinking of. They're like, all right, I'm gonna go see if he does this instead of you having to do it more often until they notice it, right? And of course that is very much needed too. I'm just sitting, sit back, let all the work show. But if you're coming back from the break, pitch yourself into the fire. Now you have to make sure that what you're saying is what we can do, okay? But that return is now a re-message of your new and hopefully reinstated, re-upgraded value. And sure, it's not the ego, but it's just the actual steps that you have done and you know you can do and want to show to the team and to the coach on how we can help them up. And that ties us into this number 3 exercise here of stacking a new belief with micro wins, especially when we're coming back, right? And if we're trying to rebuild confidence with momentum, but it's feeling distant, how do we do this? And so I want us to use this micro win log. And this is especially great for when we're coming back. We might have some nerves going on and we're just thinking about all the little areas when we weren't doing good or anything else along that sense. If we're using this micro win log, especially for the first couple times when we're coming back, we can see the specific areas that we are winning at no matter what happened, no matter what position we are put in, no matter if we're on the practice squad or varsity, we can see how we are progressing. And if we cannot find anything, which we can always find something, then we know, okay, these are specifically what I want to work on for the next time. So then we do progress. So how do we do this? First 5 to 7 days back, right? That first week is 3 small wins per day. Write this on your mirror with a whiteboard marker, whatever we need to do to make sure that we are going to be tracking these 3 wins, right? The wins that we want to focus on when we're going into it, and then write the wins that we checked and see if we did or didn't do, and then what ones we did actually do. Because no matter what, we did something. Okay, they could be hit reps, they could be leadership shown, they could be a positive attitude, they could be bouncing back from certain moments or in those tough times, and using that small break to go through exercise from number one. It can be endless small wins, but find those 3 small wins per day so we have that new belief and we can come into this building time showing ourselves that we are winning and we are going forward, right? This is really reinforcing our belief and the progress that we know we are doing in a tangible way, bringing that momentum back piece by piece by stacking the new belief with micro wins. And last one, number 4, I find this one pretty fun, but it's reigniting your identity, what you're doing, who you are with those stretch mental goals or mountain goals that I usually like to use. Only it might not be super high up in the mountains, so which is why I'm calling it a stretch goal, or you could say a camp goal halfway up, but after a hardship, how do you specifically sharpen your identity, who you are, what you're trying to do, instead of just chasing stats, right? So we have who we are and everything else, and then we have our outcomes and our performance, right? These are important, and obviously I like to chase the outcome and the performance, but we also have to look at who we are and what we're doing and some other measurements how we can do it besides just those actual game stats. Because if it's cross country, no matter what, you're running the 5K and you get the time that you're showing. But if it's another sport, maybe football, and you're not getting the spot that you're wanting to get right now and you're not getting the minutes, well, those stats are a little different. So we have to come back to the identity. Even if it is cross country and you're not on varsity, even though that's what you're trying to get, and you're looking for the time and spots, the positions for the scores on varsity, well, we have to come back to that identity. And what I want us to do is a mental KPI tracker or key performance indicator. This is a huge, fun piece that I love in mental performance and just overall when you were tracking things, KPIs, key performance indicators. So what this is it's going to be a mentality KPI. And what we want to do is choose one mental quality to track daily from 1 to 10. You can do this for the first week. Maybe it's the one that you know that you're trying to work on the most, or that was struggling a little bit before the break, or was one of the main goals that we had coming in to the season, right? Composure, grit, being a vocal person, being a good leader, whatever it is on the team. And then what I want us to do, besides just tracking it 1 to 10, 10 we're using it amazingly, 1 is not at all, didn't do it. Write down, put a little post practice strengthening to show it after practice. Now, you could also call this journaling, but I'm not calling it that. Write down, text yourself on your phone how you are embodying it, how you are doing this mental quality, this mentality. Track it. Okay, it's a KPI, it's a key performance indicator. This is shaping who we are becoming, and not just what we are producing, but becoming throughout the rest of the season from that break. That is why it's reigniting us with that camp mental goal, stretch goal, mountain goal, if you want to call it all that. But it's finding that identity piece and working on that in addition to just the performance stats. So we can make sure that those identity pieces then hopefully can reflect the performance stats, but it's not just the performance stats that we're looking at. So if it's golf, as some school districts and levels have fall golf, maybe it's tracking you're locking in through different exercises, different places. Side note, before each swing that you're going to do. Maybe it is football before each time you're up for the rep. Maybe it's volleyball each time you're running through any drill and you're actually up. The list can go on and on and on and on. And obviously we listed off many different mental qualities that we could be using, but then we track it and we strengthen it by looking back at it and writing some things down of what we need to do. Shape what we're becoming and not just the production of it. Like always, I want to do a quick conclusion recap for us, put all these exercises in a quick way of how we can do it right here, right now. So first thing we had was zoom in to push through. Right, we want to focus on that small body part or a physical detail during those hard moments so we can stay mentally locked in and physically keep going at that pace or whatever else that we need to push ourselves through. Number 2 was pitch yourself back in the fire. And we had that performance pitch builder, or it's a 30-second pitch to the coach or the team or whatever else when on why you are ready, the mental work you put in, the growth you put in, the value you're bringing to the team. But then, of course, we have to back it up. We have to make sure we can justify it and show that that is now who we are. Number 3 is stacking the new belief with those micro wins, with that micro win log. And that first week, 5 to 7 days, however much, rebuild the momentum and confidence with the 3 wins of what the specific thing that we're wanting to work on for the day, and then what we actually did win for the day, no matter how small, no matter what they are. 3 wins, and keep building up on them. And then number 4, reignite identity with those stretch, camp, mountain goals, whatever we want to call them. But the key thing is the mental KPI tracker, right? We got that one mental skill, mental quality, mentality, composure, leadership, you name it. List can go on and on. Rate it daily from 1 to 10, track it, grow the mental game. Figure out how you can strengthen it each time you're looking back at this. Hopefully you're writing that down too, so we can go check it out, right? Hardships change us, but they only change us if we return on purpose, if we purposefully get something out of it and have that change grow us instead of break us down. This is not just getting back to it, okay? We're coming back with that edge, redefining the presence and turn that mental pain that we're going to be going through, because they're going to push us. We're going to get pushed, right? And everyone is getting pushed. So what separates us from the other competitors, from the other team, from the opponents? It's putting that mental pain into precision. It's like a laser. If we get all that energy just anywhere, if we make it precise in one spot, boom, that laser will go through anything. Zoom in, stack the belief, pitch your value, and anchor into who you are becoming. Thank you for checking out the Mental Performance Playbook. My name is Gabe Rummel, mental performance coach, founder of The Athlete's Health. Hit me up. A lot of contact information, free info down in the description here, but catch you next week. Peace.